Did you know that 1 in every 3 women and 1 in every 4 men have experienced some form of domestic violence in their homes? Well, October is National Awareness and Prevention of Domestic Violence. And today, I will tell you my story. Hello, I am Michelle Trevino, and I am a child survivor of domestic violence. Domestic violence is any form of physical or sexual abuse on a partner. It can also include stalking and or psychological aggression with a partner. Since the pandemic started, the numbers of domestic violence unfortunately have increased, especially in our culture, in the Hispanic culture. It is something that is very taboo and not really want to be talked about. But it has to be. You have to have a voice, and I'm here to talk about it. Unfortunately, as a child, I witnessed a lot of injustices done to my mother. Everything from beatings to assaults, not just physical assaults, verbal assaults, you name it. It was feelings that I have pushed away for a long time because it's something that you don't want to remember in the childhood and something you never wish on anybody. To have the feeling of terror, to have the feeling of hopelessness. I remember seeing the fear in my mother's eyes. I remember writing a note saying that if my mother or I would end up dead, it was his fault. I remember being so scared. And this is unfortunately the reality of many people, especially right now, having to live, in the pandemic and closed and not being able to get out. But I want you to know that there's hope. You don't have to live like this. There is hope. You do not have to live in fear. You do not have to live being taken away from your family, being isolated, being excluded from being around your family, and the control. It all comes down to control. Control of what you wear, control of how you fix your hair, control of the length of your hair, and making you feel worthless. Nobody deserves to live like that. Nobody. And you have a voice. You can make your voice heard. You need to make your voice heard and get out. You might be thinking, well, Michelle, you turned out okay. You're pretty successful, you seem like everything's fine. And yes, I am now fine. But you don't know the child in Michelle who was always scared. You don't know the Michelle that allowed many injustices to happen to her because in some twisted way, she believed that she deserved it. You don't know the Michelle who went through a lot and allowed it because it was okay. And it wasn't. Nobody deserves it. You don't deserve it. You didn't ask for it. You didn't. And even if you've allowed it for such a long time, you should still get out. It's never too late. And that's the reason why I'm here today. I want to let you know that there is hope. There is a better life. I am so proud of my mom that after finally 30 plus years, she's out of a horrible situation. And now finally at peace and happy. So there is hope. There is hope. And your children don't have to grow up having these kinds of feelings, having still flashbacks of what happened, having the fear of thinking that their mother wasn't going to survive. There is hope. Get out. They're not going to change. This person did not change in over 30 plus years. They don't change. Things just get worse and worse. There is hope. There's a national hotline that I will link up above. There is a sign if you feel like you're talking to somebody and there's a video conference, there's a sign where you put up your hand, bring your finger down, and you go down like this. That is a sign to tell somebody that you need help. Feel free to reach out to somebody that you trust so that you can get the help. You're not weak for leaving. I want you to know that now I forgive you. And I pray that God gives you peace, the peace that you need in your heart. And for you women out there, or men, because men, it happens to men too. You don't deserve it. Don't worry about what anybody says. Make your voice heard because you have one. And your life is valuable, and we don't want you to be the next statistic that ends up dead. Call the national hotline at 1-800-799-7233. Be strong. You can do it. Blessings.